Alright, welcome everybody. My name's Ted, for those of you that didn't know me. And as some of you might know, yesterday, I believe, or 2 days ago, depending on when I upload this video, Valve released the latest update, which includes the new Major Pass, the Viewer Pass, and the pickems and everything. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do my pickems and post them on Twitter, probably, as everyone does nowadays. But why not make a video and explain to you why I've chosen the team that I have. Now, I feel like this is a really there is a really subjective way of approaching this kind of prediction. I feel like the first stage should be easy. Obviously, for those of you that didn't know, you have the challenger stage, you have the legend stage, champions, and if you manage to get all of them right, you're gonna get the diamond coin. That has been the same for the past 4 majors, but we're not gonna go into details for that. We're not gonna be here hard blaming Wolf and Gaben, even though they deserve it to some extent. We're gonna focus on the teams now. Without further ado, I want to get started because I have a lot of things that I need to explain to you in terms of how I'm making my picks. Now, first of all, I see a lot of people do one mistake, and that is trying to guess right the 3-0 team, picking a team that's probably gonna go through 100%. So let's say you believe that, I don't know, G2 is the best team in the stage, or Astralis or Vitality. You never put them in the 3-0. If you put them in the 3-0, you're pretty much wasting your chance of a free point. And why is that? Now, we've seen games like that, we've seen stages like that. It's just impossible for all these 3 teams. Okay, let's say that we can put ENCE in as well because they've been informed. It's impossible for 4 teams to go through 3-0. So chances are 2 of those teams, at least, are gonna have at least 1 loss. So if you feel like you can predict who's gonna win a 2-0 matchup between Vitality and Astralis, or Vitality and G2, or Astralis, G2, ENCE, and all of these, so yeah, you might as well go for it. I feel like it's an uncalculated risk. I think it's a little bit too much, and we need to try and stick to just getting the safe points, because in the end of the day, in a 2-0 matchup in this stage, everything can happen. It's a major as well, so yeah, I don't think that I can go for a prediction like that. I feel like it's a bit safer, and what we're going after in the end of the day is just getting the points, and you need to get 5 correct. So 4 of these, I think, are giving you 4 guaranteed points. Now, I think the 5th guaranteed point should be Liquid, and then you have outsiders as well. Now, going through all of them, because I'm gonna go through every single team. Vitality, I feel like Vitality, Astralis, and G2, these are just organizations and teams that can't allow themselves not to go through. I feel like people forget that in big tournaments, in big matchups, sometimes the logo plays a role as well. And what I mean by that, obviously, is not the logo itself, like not the design or something. It's the name that you're playing for, right? So everyone remembers what Astralis did at the last major at Stockholm. They were really close to making it to playoffs, and they were in a really bad spot, right? They managed to make it through the challenger stage. A lot of people speculated that they wouldn't be able to do even that after I think they had to win 2 games in a row to go there. Astralis is a really tough team to take on LAN and on Major especially. Like, I know they've been going through a lot of changes. Same could be said for Vitality, but these 2 teams are teams that have built up traditions, and teams that are just really huge names, and that always plays a role. And you know what plays a role as well? I mean, they haven't been looking awful lately. I feel like Astralis have been actually looking pretty solid. I think they're one of the dark horses going into the major. Vitality, it's a little bit of a risk. I feel like the communication barrier is still a massive problem there, but they should be able to go through pretty easily. In terms of G2, I feel like this is a team that realizes that they can't really afford to go out, so I feel like they're gonna make it all the way through the to the playoffs, and anything less would be just taken as a massive disappointment. For ENCE, I just have nothing to say about them. I mean, they've been phenomenal. I feel like I am 100% sure that they're gonna go through. Like, they are the only team. Maybe if I'm 99% sure for Vitality and Astralis, ENCE should be 100. They've looked really solid, playing some pretty decent tier 1 CS. Now for Liquid and outsiders, I feel like the entire the entire war thing really affected outsiders. I feel like them not being able to play under Virtus Pro has a really big role with how things are going there. They're obviously leaving after the major as well. It's not going to be a good thing, but I still believe that this is a team that from an individual and from a team like point of view, from a team base, they built up enough already to go through that stage, considering the teams that we have here. There's not so many tier 1 teams in the stage. Same for Liquid. I feel like Liquid have been looking kind of okay-ish. It's still a little bit uncertain. I feel like this major is going to answer a lot of questions for them, but they've looked pretty solid. They've been able to get some nice wins at big events, so I feel like these are the safe picks. Now, we have one last team that we need to bet is going to go through. Now, what I want to explain first is that I want to do the 3-0 and the all-3 and then choose the last team that's going to go through, because I want to just go through all the teams. Now, the easiest way for me, because these are the sure picks, like these are the ones that I feel like I'm 100% sure are going to go through. You should be good to go only with these 6 teams, but in case things don't go well, okay, going through the 3-0 and 0-3. Now, first of all, I want us to jump straight into the matchups. Why? When you're going for 3-0 and 0-3, you need to choose teams that have the potential to be there, but also are set up quite nice from the first stage games. You're gonna see what I mean right now.
A few moments later.
Vitality and Complexity, we're not gonna bet on that. Complexity is not gonna go all 3. Neither are they gonna go 3-0 in my opinion. Then you have Bad News Eagles and Eternal Fire. Now, for me, and I feel like for everyone, this is a 50-50 matchup. So you don't look at those teams. Like, you just let them be. You let them be for now. G2 and Liquid, I feel like both teams are going to go through. Neither of them is going to be 3-0 or 0-3. Well, one of them could be 3-0, but I doubt 0-3. Then you have Force Renegades. Now, this is the first, I think, heavily one-sided matchup that we have here. Maybe past Vitality and Complexity, but I feel like Complexity are nonetheless going to be able to pick up a couple wins after. Renegades, they've been looking extremely shaky, and I feel like them dominating their domestic scene is a good thing, but they've been struggling outside of it. I mean, that 2-0 loss against IHC, I watched that game. It was really bad. Now, I'm a fan of Renegades. I usually support Australia and CS. I like the players, I like the culture, I like the people, but I feel like the Aussies aren't in the best of spots right now. And I feel like Force is gonna pick this one up. On the other hand, I'm a really big supporter of the theory that Force can even make it all the way into the main event, because I feel like they're one of the really good tier 2 teams right now. And even though they had a couple of quiet months, right now they're on the uprise again. And people say that normally teams like that don't really have any experience. Well, I feel like that's not the case for Force. I mean, you have people like Jerry that have been around for pretty much forever. Yeah, for the younger guns, which are pretty much the rest of the team, is going to be a little bit tougher. But I feel like Jerry, to some extent, is going to be able to put in the structure and the right energy just to help the others be in the right mindset for the game, if you will. So yeah, I feel like Force is going to be on to a good start. Renegades starting with a nail for me. Astralis, IHC, again, I think Astralis are going to be able to pick that one up. Still, nonetheless, I feel like IHC is one of the teams that have upset potential. Why do I think that? Now, on paper, they should be one of the worst teams in the tournament, considering they haven't played against any EU oppositions ever. But I feel like they can surprise. I think that their individual level is quite good. I feel like they're going to pick up at least one map. That's the reason I'm not going to put them in the All-3, because they're an unknown entity. I haven't seen them perform against EU teams. On paper, they shouldn't be doing well. But I just have a... You know when you have that tingling feeling? Yeah, that's what I'm getting for IHC. So I'm not going to throw them under the All-3 hammer. Imperial Spirit, now, this is a game that I think, again, it's a 50-50. If I had to choose which one of those teams is going to go through, I'd say I'd go for Spirit. Again, I just have a feeling for this lineup. I feel like it doesn't really matter what's going on throughout the season, right? Well, they're in a pretty good streak right now. They're in a 5-game winning streak, but even without that, they're a team that has been working a lot since the beginning of the year, even though they haven't had any impressive results. I feel like they're just one of those teams that perform alright at a major, and I just see them in the main stage. I know they didn't make it through the last time around when they were arguably even better than they are right now, but I feel like this is gonna be their time. Although I'm not gonna be surprised if Imperial managed to make it as well, and I'm actually gonna be quite happy. So those two, it's kind of a 50-50 for me. Again, I wouldn't put either of those three over all three simply because I don't think that it's a massive possibility. Yes, one of those teams, like both these teams, could have been the team that I put in the trio if they weren't matched up against each other. But unfortunately they are, so we're not looking at that one. Outsiders should be able to pick up a win against MIBR. Still though, I think that the Brazilians are going to be able to get at least one victory going through the tournament. And then you have ENS versus 9Z, which should be as one-sided as it sounds. Okay, so all of these teams, we just don't touch them. Complexity, I think they're not going to make it through. They're not going to be either 3-0 or all three. Now, the teams I'm thinking about potentially going through are either Imperial, Eternal Fire, Bad News Eagles, or Spirit. Now, the reason I'm going to go for Spirit, again, I told you, I have that tingling feeling inside me. I feel like they're going to make it through. Still, though, I feel like it's pretty evenly matched up in between those four. Obviously, if we speak experience, it's first place Imperial, second place Eternal Fire, then you have Spirit, and then you have Bad News Eagles. But it really depends for me. I feel like it just really relies on who's feeling better in the moment, in between all those four. But yeah, I wouldn't put either of those four. I wouldn't put either of those four in the O3. I think one of them is going to make it through. I think if you're looking for a team to go for and be like, okay, that's going to be a 3-0 team, these could be good shouts as well. These are like dark horses that could make it through potentially. My 3-0 pick, though. My 3-0 pick is going to be Force. And the reasoning behind that, I feel like Force is a team that can upset. I feel like Force is a team that not a lot of people give enough credit to. And I think that they have the upset potential against tier 1 teams. They have that CIS style of playing CS, which we know is really hard to counter, especially when executed right. I feel like they can do what Entropic did at the last major. And I really believe that the start, like the first match against Renegades, is going to be good enough to get them started, you know? Just get them into the right mindset at all. And then you have the O3. Now, we spoke about those three. Okay, let's put MIBR in there. I feel like MIBR aren't going to make it through, but I don't see them going O3 as well. Considering they were one of the two best teams in the NA RMR as well. So, I don't see them... I don't see them not making it, but... well, I don't see them making it, actually, but I don't see them being O3 either. So, we exclude those four. Complexity, I don't think is going to be O3. And now we're left with IHC, Renegades, and 9Z. Now, I spoke about IHC. I told you already why I don't think they're going to be O3. Renegades and 9Z. Now, when we looked at the first matchups, both these teams, on paper, should be starting with losses. Alright? Renegades are playing Force, and 9Z are playing ENS. Hypothetically, now, if these two were to meet, I would still think that 9Z would pick up the victory, you know? I've had the chance to cast 9Z in the Blast Rising Latam America. I think it was end of 2021. Yeah, I know that they had their big star taken away from them, but I feel like they can still make it through. I feel like they've looked really solid. Massive DGT fan, by the way. He's an insane player, but I feel like 9Z is a team that has a lot of upset potential, and Brazilian CS and South American CS right now is on the rise. So I guess that all of them are going to be really fired up. So I expect something interesting from them. I feel like they could be one of the teams to do some serious damage, or at least if they're not able to do some serious damage, they're going to be really competitive in the 0-1 and 0-2 matchups. So I really don't want to do this. I really don't want to put the Aussies in there, but I might have to. I feel like Renegades is just a team that doesn't have the potential yet to go all the way. I feel like you had a group of really experienced and really good tier 1 Australian players, and you just lost them. 200 Thieves a couple years ago, obviously speaking about Azure and the gang, but I'm not sure if Liaz alone is going to be able to contribute enough for this team to go through. He hasn't been a part of a successful team for a long time as well. So yeah, I think that I'm going to throw Renegades under the bus, and this is going to be my lock. This is why I think the matchups are going to go like that. Of course, let me know if you agree or not. You're free to disagree, and truth be told, this should be a fairly easy stage in terms of picking those 6 teams. I feel like these are the easy picks. Maybe some of you might exclude outsiders, but I don't really see the logic behind that. Well, I do, but I'm still not going to do it. I feel like this should be a pretty easy stage to clear. It's going to be really hard to guess all of them, though, because you have all of these dark horses. Like, I mean, you have those 6 teams that are arguably just above the level of everyone else. And then you have Force, you have Spirit, you have MIBR, you have Imperial, you have Bad News Eagles, Eternal Fire, and even 9Z, Complexity, IHC Renegades. Like, you have a lot of teams that are on a really, really similar level. You have a lot of tier 2 teams. I think it's safe to call them tier 2. Where and all of you that are watching tier 2 CS regularly know that it's really tough to predict what's going to happen. So especially on the major, especially when we haven't seen a lot of these players play majors before. Last time they've played a major, it was with a completely different lineup, and it was a long time ago. So yeah, I guess these are the safe picks. I think that I'm gonna get it right. Now I'm not sure how that's gonna work with the cam, but taking a look at it, I have a couple diamond coins, so I'm pretty confident. I'm gonna get it right again, right? I'm pretty confident I'm gonna get it right. Let me know what your pickems are. Let me know if you agree or disagree, and I guess I'll see you in the next video. Take care.